Hello and welcome back to the channel. I was cutting it close because I know we had some friends on, so I was originally going to go at 4:15 or 2:15, but I swapped it out for oh, I swapped it out for 2:30 because I didn't want to run into their stream. Hey, Captain Mule, how's it going? How you doing today? Anyways, uh, did you see? I'm going to share this screen really quick and I'm going to talk about this. I don't know if you guys know or if you know, but I am a G.I. Joe. Um, let's see. Oh, you know what? I don't think I can share that thing, or did I close it? Let me see. Hold it. I am a big G.I. Joe collectible. So I have all my little vintage G.I. Joes up here. I got a bunch of vehicles all over the place. And then what did they do? Super 7. Hey, Mark at Blue Harvest. Blue Harvest, or what happened here was Super 7 did this whole string of G.I. Joe figures, and they look really, really cool, right? The only problem that I have with these figures, besides them being $55, is that they're a 7-inch scale. So I'm not really happy that they just, I mean, it was not even a year ago that Hasbro did the 6-inch line, and I'm totally on board with the 6-inch line. I mean, let me turn around, let me see, where did I put them? This is when you get too much stuff, you don't know what to do. I finally got this Cobra Island Trooper to go with my other troopers. I got pretty much all of them. Not being able to get that that Cobra Island Trooper was the main reason why I like ditched. I was kind of like not getting some of the exclusives like the Supreme Commander, and now I'm kicking myself because I should have did it. But anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. And you know, the thing is, you guys can hear me, right? Okay, so I can't hear myself on here. So yeah, like my problem with this line is the 7-inch scale, but other than that, I think these things are super cool. I mean, the accessories, and right here is, if I was to get any of them, this is the one that I would get, just because he looks really, really cool. And I'm not sure that the Classified series is actually gonna make one of these. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to talk about that for a second. I can see Blue Harvest is saying that he passed, but you've pre-ordered, Cat Mule, the Ultimates and all 15 reactions. I do like the Super 7 figures, and I'm probably I do like the Thundercats, but man, I'm just like, I've been avoiding the 7-inch scale. I've just been trying to stay away from them, but it just seems like that's where stuff's going, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do at this point, right? Like, do I get the 7-inch and throw them in? They're not going to mix and match very well. It's one of the main reasons that I haven't jumped on the McFarlane figures. But anyways, that's not why we're here. So last week I wanted to talk about some of the figures that I just got, and they came in boxes like this, and they were some big auction lots from like Goodwill, and I spent a little bit of money to get them. And what I mean by that is the lots were very, very big, and so they didn't go cheap. They were, I think one of them was about $100 or something like that, and one was maybe around the same, and one was a little bit less. But the reason why I buy these lots is because you can get, like, I mean, when you do the breakdown on it, it literally is like, maybe could be as low as, hey Gilster, how's it going? it's really, yes, these are the lots. I'm gonna go through the figures and kind of show them to you. What I mean, it's kind of hard to see in a big picture, but I thought I'd just pull them out one at a time. So the breakdown on these is if I have these Lord of the Rings figures, and if I just went with the cost of the Lord of the Rings figures, it's like $3, about $3 a figure. I did these Marvel Legends ones that I got, and the breakdown was about like $8 a figure, a little bit, 8.25, because of the cost of the lots. But the thing is, I was bidding on them all like around the same time, so it was like if I add them all together, right? It's much cheaper. Yeah, Blue Harvest is saying Rancor. Anyone? That is the rumor, right? That they let it slip that that's going to be the next HasLab. I don't know if it's been posted there yet, but that looks like a good one to me, right? So I'm thinking everybody is probably going to want the Rancor. So, anyways, I had a black horse similar to this one, came in the lot. These are Lord of the Rings. They're 6-inch scale, which means they scale perfectly, or 1/12 scale, they scale perfectly with like your Black Series or your Marvel Legends. So I gave one of these horses to the Black Knight. And then it came with that other white horse and this white horse, which I thought was pretty cool. And then it had this beast right here that has the moving mouth. Now these are kind of cool because they have some sort of motion in them, and these are counted in my estimates of how much each piece is, because you know, it's like the lots together or whatever. So with the Lord of the Rings, it came with a bunch of accessories, this boat, this little water barrel thing, a whole bunch of weapons and stuff like that. And I did send some of these figures off to Dan Denny. He said that he needed some to finish his collection. But here's one of the figures. I mean, he's nearly complete, got all his weapons. Yeah, that horse and the Black Knight, I love it. I finally found a horse for him I've been looking for a long time. I was going to break down and buy Mythic Legends horse, but they're like $80. So for the cost of that, I grabbed all of this stuff, and I'm kind of happy because, so what's going to end up happening with most of these figures is they're going to become other figures, probably some of them. And I'm thinking about maybe doing some custom figures out of these. And the idea is that I might turn some of these into Dungeons and Dragons. Did you see, if you remember that old 80s cartoon, I was thinking these would be perfect with a little paint. They all got the weapons and stuff like that. And they would make perfect. There's your tree man, Salacious. And I mean, this box, I'm only halfway through this box, and it's just not ending here, right? And then I got a bunch of these guys here. Oh, his foot just came off when I was pulling him out of the box, his leg. But it's made to do that. It's kind of interesting because it reminds me of the old G.I. Joes that had like the pegs in the arms and the legs, the 60s ones. And then I got a whole bunch of like villains and stuff in here. So pretty much I got a really good collection of Lord of the Rings figure. I'm not going to really go through that box anymore. What I want to do, though, is I'm going to show you some of the Marvel figures kind of up close, the ones that I picked up. And here is like the first one I wanted to show off. I did a picture of this. I put it up, and I did some of my special effects on it from the Photoshop. And this is, look at that. The steering came off. It does have a peg, so it just goes back in. I'll probably have to like glue these on. But it comes with this bike, and it comes with the Ghost Rider. So this is actually a really cool setup. I had seen AJ throw up a picture of his bike, and he said, oh, here's my bike, but no rider. And then when I saw this lot, I kind of said, oh, I got to get this, just because it came together. And this was a set, a fourth auction that had like a few figures in it. So I'm going to go through and, you know, buying used figures, you don't usually get perfect figures. So you do get some that end up being broken or they're missing parts or something like that. And the example of that is this was in the box, and of course he's missing his lower arm. It looks like it was chewed off or something like that. So maybe he was injured in some sort of action figure photography or mayhem. But easily, I think this can be repaired with like a third-party arm or something like that. Now, one of the things that I got stuff on different sides of the room because I was trying to keep some of this stuff out. So it did come with this Thor Ragnarok and came with, you know, the Stormbreaker, which I was really happy because I don't actually have these two. But it came with another shield, so I can always use another Captain America shield, and it came with the hammer, right? There's no inscription on this one, but that's okay. So I got that. But in the box, which got me really excited, and in the picture was this shield. And this is the one, I think, from the Worthy Thor or the Worthy Cap. But unfortunately, the Captain America that it came with is this one. And I'm pretty sure that because of the Avengers logo on the arm, this is the Civil War captain. And plus, he doesn't have an open hand, so he's not able to carry the hammer. But I'm thinking I can modify that hand if I wanted to be able to like put the hammer in there. And then I could kind of have him be a stand-in for that Worthy Cap. But I was kind of happy to get the shield anyways. That was kind of cool. This is guy, I can't remember his name. Anybody, please help me. This is the villain in the last Spider-Man movie, right? But this is, I think, from the retro. He doesn't have his cape, unfortunately, but Mysterio. He doesn't have his cape, but it was kind of cool to be able to get him because I didn't have him in that package. It did come with this Hulk, and this one right here is, I'll just show you. I don't usually collect these types of figures that have like the sort of like gimmick arms and stuff like that. I kind of never really liked those that much when I was collecting before. That's what kept me out of a lot of these bigger style figures, is when they had some sort of a thing like that. And then because he's got his hunched over shoulder, he's really only posable in like a couple of different ways. But it's a pretty good Hulk. I mean, it's not like my favorite or anything like that. So you got Dandy. Thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate it. My Zima never showed. What? Oh, he showed up. Never showed up today, but I finally ordered Kang. Yeah, I saw you mention that over on in Twitter. So I'm glad that you got him. I haven't ordered one yet, but I think I might look for him. And gimmicks, yeah. I don't like those gimmicks. I had a Captain America where he spun and the little shield spun, and I just despised it. So it did come. This is kind of a tiny. And when I say tiny, this is a Thanos, and it's obviously the comic one, but I don't think it's the newer one, because if you put him up next to this other Legends, he is bigger, but he just seems a little bit scrawny compared to how I would expect the Thanos to be. And then I got that other Thanos on my shelf, but I think that's a Marvel Select, is why he's so big. And I think that's why I like that one. And then it's kind of cool because when you buy an auction lot, you end up with figures you never, ever would have thought about buying before. And this is kind of one that like I wouldn't have went out and like bought, but it's really cool that he was in there. And now that I see him, I think this one's actually like really, really cool, right? I mean, if you look at these hands right here, he's got fingers that kind of move, and they move like these three move together, and then his forefinger moves separately, and then his thumb. I didn't do a good job of showing it off, but like, look at that. Look at the movement in that hand. It looks really, really cool. And just the face on him just looks amazing. So I was pretty happy to get that one in the box too. The other cool thing is it came with, I mean, this box is like just as deep as that other one. So it's Uh, is that the Toy Biz? Oh, oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that, but you're probably right about that. It says Marvel 2014, so probably is, right? And then there's the Iceman. And I know they got that new one that's coming out, and he kind of looks like this one a little bit, but this is obviously like a little bit older. The thing is, oh, you know what? I said I need my glasses to be able to read. Here they are. This is a 2013 version of Iceman. So he was in there too, and that's kind of cool because Ice passed on that other one, and so I'm kind of glad to have this one. I also have the retro carded one, which is kind of cool, so I'm going to have those together. Let's see. Harvest. Josh, how you doing today? Sabretooth, yeah. Man, you really know. See, like I wasn't really collecting Marvel figures until except for those little ones, right? Until I think the year that Red Hulk came out, then I started playing catch up a little bit on some of the Marvel Legends. It was a little bit before that, but it wasn't until that Hulk came out that I really said, oh man, these are good figures. So this guy was in there, and this is one that I never really would have got either, but I think he just looks really cool, right? So I think that looks nice, man. This is a nice figure. And yeah, another one that I never would have like thought about getting. And the cool thing is this guy has that extra joint right there. So that's like pretty cool. So I got another Hulk, right? So that other one that had the little motion that I had here, there was like two of them. They were in separate lots. So that's the gamble you take. You're trying to get a group of figures and you end up getting like multiples of the same one. I've done the same thing. I have three of these Ant-Man figures now. Luckily, one of them came and he has like the open face on the helmet, but I still don't have the one with the Scott Lang's face sculpt, which I think looks silly anyways, because he's got that really weird expression on his face, right? Let's see. I'm just going to go back to the chat. Would have been Hasbro license, okay? I wish has to give us a deluxe Iceman. Oh, couldn't you imagine a deluxe Iceman? But I bet you could make your own ice trail with like hot glue or something like that. You know what? I do not have any Marvel Select Hulks, which is kind of an interesting thing. Well, that I know of. I have some Hulks, but I don't think any of them are Marvel Select. So this is another Iron Man. And the thing is, I have this version. I got this version in the box. This is the one with the flares. I think this is the Mark 7 or something like that. Now, he is missing one of these like pieces up here, which is kind of unfortunate, but I don't think it detracts from the figure that much. Now, in this box, I do have this one figure here, and this is like Deadpool, and he pretty much came loaded. He had all his accessories basically on him. And the cool thing about this is I thought he looked really good, and he's not a Legends figure. This is a Marvel Select, because if you look, this guy right here is in that 7-inch scale. So this is about how much taller those G.I. Joes that I was talking about earlier are going to be compared to the other ones. So I don't normally click those because of that, but that's what happened. That Diamond Select. Oh, you know what? Maybe Diamond Select. Let me put my, I thought it was a Marvel Select, but let me look. Marvel. Oh, yeah, I think so. It says DST on the bottom of the foot. So I guess that means Diamond Select. But I was pretty impressed that he had all of his accessories. So the other thing too is here's another, see, here's another Ant-Man. So this guy was in the box. So I got another Ant-Man. had like some of these. These are those DC figures that sat on the shelf forever. The different Wonder Womans. They don't look like them at all. This is the Lex Luthor. Let's see. Did have this guy. Anybody familiar with this? Is obviously a Green Lantern. This is probably the Hal Jordan version, but I don't know which accessories he was supposed to have. I think it has one. Had this piece in there, so I'm assuming those go together. Oh, and he has this big gigantic green gun, so I'm pretty sure that's part of his too. I got a Superman. Of course, I don't think it's one of those multiverse figures. This is one of those cheaper versions that came on the card. But then here we go. Ant-Man, another version. This one's kind of cool too. I probably would have never picked him up. Came with this Colossus. Came with another Thor. Now I have this one already, and but the version I have, he's missing his eye, so it's really a lot more damage than this one. Now he looks like he still has it, but the version I have, and I was looking down here to see where I put him, but oh yeah, so I already had this figure, but it's all right. Oh, you know what? Probably it's not. It's exactly the same. The eyes are exactly the same. So I have that guy. Came with a few of these, which is kind of cool. It's a little rubberized Green Lantern. And I used to like Green Lantern, you know, like Neil Adams and Dick Goriando did that like social experiment version of the Green Lantern, Green Arrow. And I really dug that version. That was like one of my favorite comics growing up as a kid, that whole storyline. Okay, let's see. Marvel and I wanted to see you with your glasses on again. No, thanks. You need the Wasp. You know what? I don't have a Wasp figure either, so we're in the same boat. And could be this one, this little Hobbit boat. Comic Ant-Man, yep. Colossus, the Warlock Wave. Thor. Yeah, maybe from the Sif 2-pack. I think so. I don't know if I don't think I have the Sif, but I might. The Lady Sif. I have to look. Blackest Night. Yeah, that was a good one too. So this guy, I have no idea who this is. So help me out there if you know. But he was in there. And this is the problem. The other half of like getting a lot. You don't get the boxes. You don't know anything about the characters. And I don't remember, you know, I'm trying my hardest. I was like, no, not bringing any memories. Let's see. You can get, yeah, you can really get lost in Green Lantern. So I had this little Wonder Woman statuette type figure in there also. So I'm trying to get through some of these like smaller ones before I hit back on these the rest of the bigger ones. So there's a Venom, or some type of a Venom. And then who's this guy? No, that's a Swamp Thing, right? And I meant to like shut off the lights and see, but I don't think I think when they make a figure like this, they should make him glow in the dark. They just don't do it. Okay, let's see. You know everything. So yeah, that's the Taskmaster. All right, so now I finally have Taskmaster. He doesn't look anything like the one in the movie, but is he missing something? Yeah, you know what? I'm seeing it here, like right up here on his head. There's like a notch, and I don't think that's normal. So I think he's probably missing some sort of a helmet. So the figure, Spider-Man, the silver figure. Okay. Yeah. And then look at that. Pirate Joker. It's kind of cool, right? This is the other cool thing about getting lots is like you get stuff like I don't collect any of this type of stuff, but it's kind of interesting, right? And like if you wanted to just like take that to your work and throw it on your desk or whatever, especially if you're a big Aquaman fan and you want the Black Manta or whatever, or you liked the Super Friends when you were a kid and you could just say, "Hey, that's them, the Super Friends." All right, Cat Mule, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the hood. That's what I need. And then I got this little Wolverine was in there, and he's kind of cool because even though I don't like, and I never collected these like little gimmicks, his blades kind of lock up in his arms, similar to those old sabers. And then if you just do pop them out, and I like that sound. It's got that nice click to it, just like they're coming out. Came with this little wall with a Spider-Man. I guess it's kind of cool. I don't know what I would do with it, but it came with it anyways. Came with this guy here. And let's see. All right, so what version of Spider-Man is this? I'm going to look on the bottom and see the name, but so this is from Hasbro, and there's no date there. This is one of those ones where they couldn't fit all the information on the feed, it looks like. So sometimes it's like, it's buried under this other stamp. I can't read it. It's even too small for my glasses. But I'm not sure about that Spider-Man. And then, but also, see, this is where I'm having some issue because like I got that Captain Marvel figure and it was actually in the package. And the arm broke when I was bending it. And this character right here, her arm is a little bit stiff on this side. So I think I'm going to have to figure out how to loosen that up. But this figure right here was in the box. And I think it looks pretty good. And you know what I was thinking about when I saw this in the picture? Stealing the hair for my Black Widow and then just painting it a little bit darker because it's a little bit wavy. It's not curly like I want it, but it's a little bit wavy. But now that I look closely at it, I don't think it's going to work because of the little headpiece. So I don't think that's going to work. Let's see. Oh, this was the first Wolverine you had? This one right here with the locking. You still got it? See, I wish I would have did this earlier. Okay, I will put hot water on it, Josh. I'm going to try it. Tundra. And then this is not the Retro Collection Kingpin, but it is a Kingpin regardless. And this one right here, his hands have movement. So obviously this is what like the Toy Biz version or whatever. Or do you think this is like the earlier? I don't know what would have went in his back, but it's pretty good. I mean, the size is not super fantastic. He's not much taller than anybody else. I'm assuming that's the Kingpin. And then, okay, I'll stick my glasses on. Just don't take any screenshots. Man, really tiny. Okay, this is what I usually do. I usually break out my phone and use it as a magnifier. It looks like it's like 2004 or something like that. So Um, he had his cane that would stick in the hand. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's see. My Winston Z has a stiff elbow, also hot water. Josh, okay. Only warm water, not really hot. Okay, you guys duke it out over how hot the water should be, okay? I'm just kidding. Let's see. He had his cane, it would stick in his hand, okay? And then G-forces here. Blue. Let's see. It helps with NECA figures. I've never done anything with the NECA figures when I take them out of the box. I go like this. I learned this in a movie. If you rub your hands together, you can correct broken bones and dislocated joints with really hot hands. It was in the movie. It has to be true. Let's see. How he gets stiff elbow. May need some hot water. Yes. Oh, okay. So that was from the Daredevil Kingpin 2-pack. And no, there's no Daredevil in this box. Darn it. But I wasn't too upset about that other Black Panther because this Black Panther was in there, which is kind of cool. And so anyways, I got a couple of running guys. I had always thought about doing like a short video where the Black Panther or something is running through the desert, chasing after somebody, and maybe I can have him chasing after Jackson because, and then Jackson calls the Acme company and drops a bunch of stuff on the Panther. That would be kind of get some dynamite or whatever. Because I think Bugs Bunny did step in and sit in for Wile E. Coyote a couple of times. Yes, that's the movie. Now I have broken pegs off from the heads, and when you, even by heating it up, because I always use a blow dryer to heat up the joints and stuff like that if I'm going to take the figure apart, and I have broken that joint in there on some of the older figures because that little piece that used to hold the head on used to be like really soft plastic, and it wasn't really good for like taking your figures apart. Okay, so here's more help identifying this guy. I have no idea. Frankenstein, maybe? Something like that, or some sort of Frankenstein creature. And now you know why you're all here, to help me identify these figures. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but otherwise I'd be doing a whole bunch of research trying to figure out who is this guy. And you know, I didn't even see like a date or a stamp, except for like some sort of a number right here, but it doesn't really have like a identifier for like who made it or anything like that. And I'm wondering if maybe it's like a DC character, and that's why like I'm not placing it or whatever. Okay, so Josh is saying, don't be, yeah, okay, I won't. Okay, so my NECA Marty McFly almost broke the guitar taking it out of the case, but I don't think like warm water would have helped me in that situation. Unless I had made it into tea, it could have helped relax me when I was getting agitated because the guitar almost broke. Solomon Grundy, there you go. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at that. You were like the encyclopedia of action figure characters. I love it. I only wish I knew what you knew about these figures. And is this Mockingbird? And she's supposed to have some sort of glasses or something, I think. But I haven't had this figure before, and it does look kind of cool. And I think like even if I didn't want to keep it in this format, I think this is an easy figure to custom or modify. And I think it'll do well. It's weird because of the way the hair is, so it does make me think she's supposed to have some sort of glasses or goggles or something like that. Robin Williams was a toy collector. Was he really? I did not know that. And check this guy out. This is another DC figure. I know this guy's DC. This next one I'm going to show you. This is, you know how they got that Boba Fett, and they got the prototype Boba Fett where he's got a whole bunch of different colors, and then he's going to have the different colored arms and stuff like that. I so much wanted to get one of the Darth Vaders, but I missed it. So I'm tempted to just skip that Boba Fett altogether just because I wasn't able to get a Vader. But I'm wondering, is this supposed to be the same, but for Batman? Or is this based on some sort of a show or something like that? Because I think it might have been based on some type of a show or a cartoon or something. I've never remember seeing Batman in these colors, but he is pretty tattered and torn, so it could be some sort of like Joker Batman or something like that, or something. So who knows? Songbird. Okay, Songbird. Ah, look at that. First to chime in. Robin Williams movies just make me sad now. I'm sorry. That probably was not his intent. Yes, it was. I don't know either. I'm gonna look it up though. Walt Disney Batman? Yeah, it could be, right? So let's see. The reason why I think he might be like the Joker or something like that as Batman is because of the face. He just looks like there's something else going on, but then the Joker would have had like a smile or something, right? Um, but it's just weird that he has the red and yellow. But I am going to figure it out. I'm going to put him aside and figure it out. So this guy was also part of the package. And okay, on your marks, get set, go. Who is that? He looks like a statue, like he's supposed to be made of cement or something. This gray is like just really weird. Let's see. What does he? Josh. No idea. You don't think Songbird is right? Oh, okay. So you're tricking me. Yeah, man, that whole Robin Williams is like awful, you know, like when you think about it. And the guy gave so much humor to the world, and then that he was struggling so hard, and you wouldn't have known it unless you knew him personally or whatever. But I don't know. Great Gargoyle, Gray Gargoyle. See, okay, so is this Mockingbird then? If it's not Songbird, well, I guess I can look it up. I'll look it up. I'll look up one of the birds. Okay, Songbird or Mockingbird. Now, the other thing that was in here was kind of interesting is I was never able to find that retro Spider-Man, that retro carded Spider-Man, but it did have this Spider-Man in there, which I don't think is the retro card. His head's a little bit loose, so I'm going to have to tighten that up. It's this joint here. I'm going to have to figure out how to tighten that up a little bit. But he does have a lot of flexibility in this, so I'm kind of happy to have a Spider-Man that has this amount of flexibility in him, so I can finally maybe get around to doing like my Iceman and Firestar review. And then the other cool thing to me is I had this SH Figure Arts Spider-Man, and I think he was supposed to be the Iron Spider. I think he was supposed to have a whole bunch of extra stuff. But then they had this one in there, which looks like the Marvel version of the same outfit or similar. And he's got all of that extra flexibility in the shoulders and stuff too, which is like super cool that now I got like a couple of extra, really extra Spider-Man. So the Hulk versus Spider-Man shorts will continue. With more Spider-Man. Maybe I'll do even more Spider-Man. I am getting kind of towards the bottom of the box. So I'm going to show off this one. This is this Venom was in the box, which I think is actually pretty cool. I love the teeth on that guy right there. I think it looks amazing. And now I don't have to buy that new Venom that's coming out on the retro card because I have this Venom, and then I got that Punisher Venom that I got also. And then you know how I had that other Captain Marvel and I broke the arm? Okay, it was Mockingbird. Okay. And was she was supposed to have glasses, I think, then some sort of like piece. So this was in there, which is kind of cool because now I have a Captain Marvel and I have the alternate head that has the actor or the actress head. So I can always do like a head swap and have that version of Captain Marvel, um, the head on this version of the Captain Marvel. And this is actually the one that uh, I would have got if I was buying any of that set, but I wasn't. But I like this one because it didn't have that jacket. I think the other one had a jacket. And then the ultimate reason why I really bought this lot in itself was one, it had this Hulk in it, which is kind of cool. It's a cinematic Hulk. Um, and I think the face sculpt looks pretty good on it. I mean, that guy just he looks really cool, and he's got some good articulation. He's no bigger than that Gamerverse Hulk or any like that, and he's got about the same flexibility that Gamerverse Hulk. But I think this one's actually not as big as that comic book version. But this guy was part of a 2-pack, MCU 2-pack, and that 2-pack came with this guy right here, which is really the main reason I was bidding on this auction altogether. This one went for a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but it still broke down along with all of those other figures that I got in those other auctions for about $8 a figure. So I'm really happy to get the Hulkbuster. This is not the Build-A-Figure one. This is the one that would have came in the Hulkbuster 2-pack. There was a version where these two guys sold together. I'm pretty sure that that's what it is because he's not the Build-A-Figure one, but this one is pretty cool. He's heavy. I mean, this guy does weigh quite a bit, and I think like, man, that guy looks really cool. He's got good balance on him. He's not going to be able to make that pose like that $300 one, that they're the 112 one that they're trying to sell, but still, right? He can do what does that Hernandez do? The jaywalk. Maybe I put him down and he's doing the jaywalk. And then I think that's really cool. And then, like, of course, if I had a banner head, this would work better. But I did do this head swap the other day on Twitter, and I was like, oh, there's the Hulk in the Hulkbuster armor. And if it was just normal, it would look like a Ruffalo was in the Hulkbuster armor because he couldn't turn into the Hulk. But it doesn't fit on the peg because look how tiny the peg is for this thing because the head is really literally tiny. But I could probably stick Tony Stark's head on there if I could find it. But yeah, so Hulkbuster, this is the main reason I got that whole set. I think it's super cool. I'm super jazzed to get this one, so probably going to do a couple of short videos with Hulkbuster Smash Hulk, see how that goes. I know that these short videos have been kind of like subject of some conversations lately because of the way that they draw traffic to your channel and maybe kind of like dissuade people from watching your longer format videos. But I'm not too like worried about that portion of it because I think that's what kind of my channel was sort of designed or built around was to be more of like just kind of informal, trying to be like fun, goofy. I mean, that's kind of who I am. I don't know. Maybe you guys are going, you're fun? I'm a little bit goofy, I think, at times, and like I got like a corny sense of humor. If you watch that live stream, the 3 Minute Monkey Lizard, I do give those guys a pretty hard time, and I hope that they all take it really, really well. But sometimes I wonder, what are they really thinking? Oh, here goes that Vern again. But that's my personality. So I think the short videos are kind of right up my alley. I do like doing some of the comedy, some of the stop motions with the comedy. I did that whole set of Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia indoor. I really thought those were going to do a lot better than they did. But I mean, people just didn't want the stop motion, I guess. So But I like doing this, and I like showing off these figures. And I am most of these figures I won't keep. There's very few that there's a few in here that I will keep. And when I go through them, I'll be making like the decision. I do that show where they put the mats out on the front yard, and they're like, okay, this is the tarp of stuff you can keep, and this is the tarp of stuff you can't keep. I'll go through it, and then like most of these figures will end up going back into the wild somehow. And I did send a few of them off already. So of ones that I didn't think I was going to be keeping. And maybe I'll put together a set one day and just do like a giveaway of a hodgepodge of figures. I don't know if people would actually be interested in getting opened or used figures, but at some point you got to start getting rid of some. Let's see. I go back into the chat. Let's see. Yeah, the Venom was actually really cool. I love the teeth on that guy. It was amazing to me. Yeah, the Hulkbuster. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I was finally able to find one of those. I was so happy to get that guy. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And look at Salacious, angry fun. Where's my little Salacious thing that always gets stomped by the Hulk? I'm gonna have to stomp that thing here really quick. Keep it coming. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, and he just did. So that's really what I wanted to do. I mean, definitely I'm keeping the Hulkbuster, obviously, right? And I'm probably going to keep that Hulk just because he's the Hulk. And I'm definitely going to hold on to this guy for a while just because, you know, I need to do some more pictures, and maybe I'll do something else with this guy. But this bike just looks really cool, like in person. And the colors on it with the flames just make this guy look really, really ominous. I think it looks really, really cool. So some of these were like the highlights of the figures that I got, and I was super happy to get. I was really looking forward to those horses in the Lord of the Rings, but this guy right here just looks cool. I love that motion that they do. It's like just a button on the back, and I love that. And I think I put a picture of it on eBay on Twitter with the Kenobi riding it, and I was thinking, yeah, man, that's how I wanted to do it. Now, me and Josh Whalen over at Captain America, we're talking about the horses, and he wants a flying horse, a Pegasus, for his Valkyrie, and I also want to make a Pegasus, but for a different reason. And I've 3D printed some wings that I was going to try to put on this, but what had happened was the 3D wing file that I found was for like a really small, tiny wing, and when I enlarged it, it lost some of the detail, and when it printed out, it just was horrible. So I'm going to have to find another pair of wings. But ultimately, what my idea is, I want to put wings on one of these horses. Then I'm going to take my favorite figure that I like to custom, and that is the Farm Boy Luke. I'm going to add some curly hair onto him, kind of like I did with that Greatest American Hero. And I'm not going to lick it. Look at this, Salacious, lick it. No. We're toy collections. Okay, that's what I'm going to do then. I'm probably going to put together like a setup and do something. I'll probably do it on the 3 Men and a Monkey Lizard. In a couple of weeks, we'll do something. But I think I want to make a custom Clash of the Titans, like from that original set, because I have the original Harry Hamlin figure with the original Pegasus. So I'm thinking that if I make like a custom Pegasus and then a custom Perseus, yeah, I can put them together. And some of these Lord of the Rings figures have like shields, so I could like modify the shield, and that would be kind of cool to do. So we'll see if I can do it. I just have to find some good wings, and then I'll be 100% in on taking care of that. But yeah, so so the thing is about buying figures online. So I've told everybody this before, and I'll say it again. There's a website called shopgoodwill.com. I always look there for action figures. Uh, Sometimes auctions just go super cheap, and sometimes they get ridiculous, and I'm out. But they always seem to have something kind of like crazy. Like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, they had the Shogun Warrior Godzilla on there. He was missing his tongue and his toes were broken and stuff like that. But um, that would have been pretty cool to get for like $150 maybe, since they go for way more, because then you could buy the replacement parts and fix them up. But it went for much more than that. So it was much more than I was going to spend, and I was out. But the cool thing to me about shopping in different types of places like that is that those organizations, they help people, right? They help. So Goodwill's like big slogan is they help people get jobs. And I've kind of seen it firsthand because I actually go to like Goodwill stores and I've talked to the managers and stuff there, and I've gotten to know a couple of them. And I do like their business model, at least out here. So I have been very supportive of them. You guys have heard me talk about it all the time. And if you've seen the other live stream and stuff like that, 3 Minute Monkey Lizard. So one of the things that I really like sponsoring or supporting something like that. And I think this is like the perfect way for me to do it because I'm going to buy figures anyways. I spent a little bit of money, but I think I got a really great deal on the figures that I got here, and I think it's perfect if you're interested. And that's kind of just one of the ways that I kind of like beef up my collection by trying to save money. When I first started collecting Black Series, I was doing the orange stripe boxes, and I missed figures along the way, and I couldn't always afford to just get everything right. But a lot of times, what happens is I would like find Black Series lots, and so I have like 2 or 3 different Darth Vaders now. I have the ones with the helmet come off. They were all out of the box, and you're able to like pull them apart and make customs. That's how I got my 2 Anakin Skywalkers with the 2 different heads. I got one that had the regular head, and then I got one that had the red eyes. And those 2 figures I got separately in separate lots. You know what I mean? And so, like stormtroopers, picked up stormtroopers along the way. Down here, I have 4 speeder bikes. You can see them down there in that corner. One is, of course, the Amazon one, and the other 2 are the brown ones. And then I got the black one in the back. But all of those speeder bikes came from online auctions, and they didn't have stands. That was the big thing. It was like they were just speeders without stands. But then if you saw that White Rabbit Marvel Legends figure, she had the Hobgoblin stand, where the Hobgoblin glider with stand, and that stand for that glider is that stand. So I was able to go on eBay and just buy the Hobgoblin gliders like pretty cheap, and then the gliders are going to go to do something else, and then the stands went for my speeders. So that's how I like got all the speeders for my speeder bikes. And I think it's a good opportunity to like look around. I'm sure that you guys know how to find figures and stuff like that, so I don't have to be like preaching to anybody. But anyways, I just thought I'd show off these figures today, and I thought it was a pretty good deal. I've seen people. I'm watching people now talking about the deals they're getting. AJ at the Third Floor Toys on YouTube or whatever on Twitter, AJ Case, Dreadcat, he was talking about how he got some figures for like $3 a figure. That's fantastic. I saw one where I guess there's a store back east clearancing out like the Captain Marvel sets, $30 for the entire wave. That's like $3 a figure. Those are great deals, right? Yeah, see, you're trying to get me to lick that figure. I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to sniff it either. I'm not going to. No, I'll slant. The Hulk may step on that thing. Yes, please. It's going to be a good show tomorrow, by the way. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to learn all kinds of stuff about getting fit. Genius. So anyways, that's really it. I just wanted to go through these boxes and show them off. I know I took everything out and took pictures of them and stuff like that, but I thought it would be nice to just get out and pull them out like kind of one at a time. I know I didn't go through all of the Lord of the Rings figures, and I apologize for that, but I mean, I got halfway through the box and I was like, man, I'm not going to go through the rest of that because I really wanted to show off that box of Marvel figures, and I really wanted to get to that Hulkbuster. That was what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to take everybody's day because I know, like on the East Coast, it might be like dinner time, and getting towards the in the UK, it's getting towards sleep time, and you know, out here, it's getting towards middle of the afternoon, and normally that's beach time. But I really appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out with me just for an hour. Look, it's under an hour, 55 minutes. So I really appreciate it. I hope you liked hanging out and talking about these toys. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about before we go? Did anybody see anything for sale or anything that came out this week that they're super excited about? I know we briefly talked about those Super 7 G.I. Joes. I'm 50-50 going to pass because of the 7-inch scale, but I know that Cat Mule said he's totally in. He already pre-ordered them. Blue Harvest said he was a pass. I don't. What else? What else were they promoting? Oh yes, and there was some speculation in the chat and on online today that the Rancor is going to be the HasLab, right? So who's going to fork out $500 for a Rancor? Anyone? Going once? Bueller? No, okay. One ring to rule them all. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. I just saw 90s. All I need most of the figures from. Yeah. Is that on the GeForce? Is that on the shop Goodwill? Oh, yeah. Everybody's going to get the Rancor. Okay. All right. Andy, see you later. I think I did send you some Lord of the Rings figures, right? Yep. So everybody's in for the Rancor. Yeah. It's going to be a hard sell for me here because of the 2 Sentinels that I got coming. So I want to see how that's going to go over when that package arrives. But yeah, I think a Rancor would be really cool. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, what I would do with it. I mean, I'm already thinking, what am I going to do with my Sentinel, right? I know one's going to stay probably boxed up or whatever, and the other one I'll probably open because, of course, I'll want to review it and take some pictures and do some videos. But where would I set up my Rancor? I think I would have to move out like my TV, the furniture, and everything else, and maybe just have to redesign this whole thing to where maybe you could just walk in and you just gaze at like all the stuff, and then you would have to leave the room. But that will be some serious thought. Maybe I'll have to reorganize. Maybe I'll have to box down some more figures and see how that goes. But anyways, it's been almost an hour. I really appreciate you guys hanging out once again. And thank you very much. I'm going to kind of cut loose, have some dinner, have fun, go out there and play with your toys. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Oh, Josh is saying, just before we go, Josh is saying he wanted the Rancor since he first got on into the line. Okay, I can go with that. I think it's going to be actually pretty awesome. So, all right. With that, take care, everybody.